Hey folks, today I was doing some thinking today and sort of thinking out loud, talking out loud to myself at first and trying to understand some things about, when I think about this reckoning and what's going on and what's happening. I understand technically why it has to happen. I've given you all of these reasons. They're written. The Most High has spoken these reasons. All praises, Lord. And so they're going on, folks. Now, a lot of you, it made me think, a lot of you think about these things and you question God and his decisions and why something should be because you're selfish. I thought about my own, mindset and how I see things, and I realize on a fundamental level, I keep telling you folks, and I know this to the core of my heart, I am actually no better than any of you. I have bad days. I have days where I feel miserable. I have days where I feel tired. I have days where I feel grumpy. I'm just like any of you. And, so when I think about all of the things that you guys do that any of us possibly could do, in the right moments, you're angry, you may be, you defending yourself or something, you may harm someone or something. So all of these things are givers in a material reality, folks. This is a stressful society. This is why the society we have to rid ourselves of this toxic energy that's permeating our society in many ways. It makes people, good people like myself or many of you, it makes us victims to these things because we have to constantly struggle and fight within ourselves. That duality we're provided or afforded in third dimensional reality is what we struggle with constantly, folks. The best of us are able to overtake these things, but the worst of us constantly give into these things. So what it made me realize is that on a bad day, the best of us could be the worst of us. You get what I'm saying? So on that level, when I see reckoning, I'm not seeing it as me being holier than thou, folks. Because we're being recovery in this reckoning. It's about the mirror. Many of you have been born and don't have mirrors. That's important because when you think about how you affect other people and the things you do, it creates a society of toxicity and it causes pain, folks. But when you're not able to see yourselves as the other individual, you will consistently do that pain and will have and will literally exploit your own justifications, is what I'm saying. So I'm not better than any of you. If any of you have ever seen me do these videos and it seems as if I'm always shouting about the ills of humanity, what humans aren't, and we aren't these things. A lot of the problem, folks, is that we don't reflect on these things. We don't reflect on who we are. We make excuses, right? And so when we're pushed into a corner, which is Mother Earth pushing you out of material reality for a better day. The better day is a society of people who have a certain level of ability to reflect, right? Maybe they'll think about hard enough about themselves that they won't harm a person from the start, or if they do, in some moment of engagement, they're able to reason in that moment or maybe after that moment. So then what will happen is if there was a conflict, there will be resolution to that conflict because people, the parties involved, are able to come to some type of, agreement or consensus or something, and it all fosters positivity, folks. Societies around the world, honor Mother Earth, societies around the world do not have the ability to compromise or reason with each other and see each other as the same. You're all air breathers, so you're the same, folks. But when you have those people who see themselves above the fray, so to speak, in ways not that they operate as same, like breathing and thinking and certain things, procreating, but in ways that they decide the command of the society, meaning that they decide how great a population should be or not. And these are things that are foolishness when you talk about man who has been blessed to even live. If you were given life, how do you get to decide someone else's life or their span of life? So in many ways, they've decided, you know, because it's at that time, they're going to do all types of things. And I keep telling you, these news feeds every 5 seconds will be revealing some great information, folks. They've discovered this. We've discovered that bananas are the key to the universe. That means stuff that they never told you. And they were releasing certain things in little increments over time. But why release it all? Why let the dam loose, folks? Why let it all out now? If it's true. And it's not. It's just about a narrative, folks. It's just about controlling. See, when you tell a half-truth and you still put your narrative in the truth, you're still trying to control some aspect of the information to a person, folks. This is the crime that we have done as humans. We don't reason with what we do. We make excuses. Okay? And I was looking at some political feed and someone was talking about something going on, one of these conflicts, and how the world leader of this conflict is continuously doing something and not making amends for the things they had done previously. Because this, I guess the person they're trying to make these peace deals or whatever. I'm not sure which particular conflict. There's so many of them, which is the problem. But this particular conflict, they were trying to come up with some type of deal, and, you know, and that's the problem, folks. You know, we want to have things and for our own creature comforts, and we're not able to identify with other humans. So in a new society going forward, there will be a society of humans who have the capability of seeing the humanness in others. You get it? That's all you need to start, to get cooking with something. You need that. You need a little bit of that. That's love. A lot of you guys discounted the love goddess because on the great ones, because you didn't realize what love really was, folks. You didn't understand the bigger aspect of what love really is and was. Right? In a society that flourished, folks, that had God. When you put the Most High in your society in every way, folks, it will put you in a position where you constantly are polishing your mirror, and every step you take, you're reckoning with your own mistakes. So prior to any judgment, you will have already had a discussion with God about all the stuff you did. When you take this walk in oneness with Him, folks, you know that He's present in every moment. You'll have times where you'll do things or say things in that moment knowing He's watching you. Knowing that He loves you. And that's what I'm talking about human nature, about us taking advantage. That's one thing I hate about myself as being a human, folks, that this doesn't escape me as well. This human characteristic, and I'm human. But I'm going to keep trying, folks, for myself. I'm going to keep trying to look at myself, and I encourage many of you out there to do the same, especially in these times, folks. You know, when we talk about praying and communicating to the Most High, some people say prayer, but it's communication, folks. It's meditation. It's having that quiet moment with Him where you open up in that oneness and you talk to Him. Hey, great ones. And you let Him know that you're present, just like the great ones are present right now in physical manifest. Honor y'all. And this is my everyday, so I am blessed. But even in my greatest profound blessing, folks, I still have moments where I fall short sometimes that I think to myself. As long as I'm realizing that to myself, I guess I'm in a good place. But still, there's room for better for myself, folks. Just knowing that I can do better is not doing better. You understand? I have to actually walk the walk. And that's what I was telling you guys with these books. My mouth is a little dry here, so you have to excuse me. And I'll make this quick, folks. Doesn't really matter at this point. I want you guys to understand that in a society of high vibratory level, positive energy, there's love, and you embody that love. When I talk about seclusion and stuff, and the stuff you guys do, the racism and certain things where you covet. It's the idea that you're better than another body of soul that the Most High holds. He holds all of your souls. The revelation of him holding your lives and all of your lives shows that you're all the same, folks. He made you from a ball of clay, from whatever he forms you from, folks. So you all are the same to him. You may think in your stupid covet as a human that you're better because you look this way or that way. But that's foolishness. You understand that naturally that could change, you know, just by the hands of the Great One. He could do something physically and change your landscape in a way that your body or skin will react in a different way, folks. Okay? It's called adaptation. It's what humans do to survive on planets, but it's something the Most High instilled in us to survive for this experience. Right? We're the boot campers. We have to learn before we move into higher vibratory levels, folks. Why is that important? Because if you are what you think, if you're not able to master your think, then you won't be able to exist in an environment where you're not able to master that thing. You understand? If you're thinking murder, then murder is happening. You get what I'm saying? So there is none of this in the heavens. That's why it's a great place, folks. They are all, the gods are disciplined, folks. They're gods. You understand what I'm saying to you? The heavens are peaceful, folks. Now, in this new society, you'll experience, you know, your recoveries, meaning that you saw suppression and you were dealt suppression and pain, and you thought this was your way of life. The best of you. You knew there was something better because you could smell it. You just couldn't see it yet, but you could smell an aroma. And that was that was the reckoning, folks. That was what God has done to liberate you. He's starting it now. I told you going forward that it's going to increase on levels that it will consistently increase until ultimately the demoniacs are all destroyed, folks. Societies are all destroyed, folks. All of the evils in society for a new day. It can't exist because certain people are standing in the way of this. Their ideologies, their selfishness, their narcissism. You get it? The things that they want to be and the dreams that they want to achieve on your backs. They want to be the richest person when money is not real. So when you think about the foolishness of a man who wants to hoard something that's nothing, you think about who's running your societies and who's making decisions, and everything that they do and say are for their own benefit with no accountability up until now. Because now they're going to be dealt the full hand of the Most High and his wrath for things they have done for over previous generations. Some things you guys are continuously doing at this point, you have benefited from. All of you burns out there with farmland and all of this stuff, and your crops are not prospering. You're wondering why. You're being cursed, folks. All of you people who are getting bad storms and weather in places that you haven't previously gotten them, and affecting your commerce and ways of life. The foolishness, the foolish ways of life that you all have brought into. The Most High has tapped your shoulders for attention, but he commands respect, folks. He's not begging you for anything. You'll be dealt with, folks. You don't have to go along with this. He knows who's willing to do this and who's not. And that's why I say it's not really a matter of your judgments of who you think should be listened to or not. I welcome any of you gurus or any of you people out there in society. And some of you guys are great because we're going to need you going forward in this new society. Because you don't have egos. You understand what this is really about. Right? But for those of you who want to challenge every single notion of what I've said, because it's really about you giving up something. Or you having to dispel some type of belief that you've held about certain people or whatever. And then you see this person bring a message from God himself. And has shown you great miracles that the Most High himself has commanded to happen, folks. You're watching your reckoning take place. You're watching Mother Earth sweep you out of this material reality. Yet, you still say and try to go about your lives and you know, turn your backs on God and say that, you know, we'll get through this. And it's not gonna continue going forward in this fashion, folks. I need you guys to understand that. I'm no better than any of you is what I started off saying, and I'll get back to that, and I'll get off this video. I'm no better than any of you folks. I honestly, in my heart, have compassion for all of you, even you fools, folks, because I understand what makes you a fool. The greatest blessing that any of us could have is that thing, that mirror that the Most High gives us. And when he's looking for us, he's looking for those who have that mirror, folks. That mirror is part of his vibration, folks. Okay? At this point, every time I talk to you, I'm going to tell you to call out to God and try to reach him. Vishnu is always listening to you, folks. You don't have much time because this thing is going forward, and it's going to get to a point where it's going to completely push you out of material, physical reality. You'll still exist because you're in God's hands. Where you will vibrate is the question. For those of you who want war and all of the stuff that you've dealt, you can get that in the hellish worlds. Right? And you've accepted your fate on some level. Some of you are straight up demoniacs and demons hiding, and you know you'll be banished back to the place you came from. For those of you on the fence, I pray that you gain this knowledge, that you reason with something. Right? You're not going to get everything in one day, folks. But if you're holding on to God and you're willing, he's going to see that. He's going to give you credit for that, folks. And you'll be part of this recovery. I'm just telling you this. I'm not better than any of you folks. You know? And I just want you to understand that. I understand why the Lord is bringing reckoning, folks. Because we struggle so much with these things. A lot of these things has created the society of suppression that will continuously lead us down a road of doom and pain and gloom. We are our own forecast, folks, on some level. We have brought this on ourselves. And it was foretold, we just didn't listen. Okay? We'll be back to talk soon. I'll bring message, folks. You guys have a great day. Hold on to the Most High. Continue to talk to him, folks. Keep relation with him. Right? Tell him that you know that you're not perfect, that you know that he's been with you in every single moment of every mistake you've made and every error that you've made. But you want to reckon with those things. Right? Because you know that he's bringing a better society where a lot of this foolishness is not going to exist, and you want to change those things in yourself. Right? Because you're not going to have much time. You're not going to have time to do it at the last moment, folks. Call out to Harry, folks. We'll be talking soon. Y'all take care.